Hello, and welcome to our Persist With Her podcast. My name is Jocelyn.
My name is Mary Alice.
And we want to welcome you to our first podcast. So the purpose of our podcast today is to talk about inspiration. One of the purposes for our campaign, Persist With Her, is to not only advocate for women's rights, but also inspire people to join the movement, to join and to fight for a cause that you think is what you want to see in women's rights.
And Jocelyn and I definitely have had experiences in our lives that have contributed to why we feel so passionate about women's rights and these issues that we are facing even still today. So we're very happy to be sharing some of our experiences with you guys today. And we hope you enjoy and will be inspired to share some of your own inspirations.
Yeah. So I think the first moment, well, not really the first moment. I think I've been inspired for a long time now. I think going to college and learning about women's rights and the oppression and lack of privileges that women tend to have has really inspired me to learn more about the cause. But at the same time, I think the first time I actually did something about it or participated in something or in the movement, I think would be the Women's March in Chicago that was sparked after President Donald Trump's hard to say that, after President Donald Trump's inauguration. So it followed the day after. And at first I didn't really want to go. I was really hesitant. I wasn't in the greatest mood following the election, following the inauguration. But my boyfriend, who is just as big as feminist as me.
That's amazing.
I know. He told me, you know what, let's go. Like, why are we not going to participate in something that, really means a lot to the both of us. And I took his word for it, and I was like, you know what, you're right. And it was kind of funny. We went last minute, and we stopped at a Walgreens. And in a little bit, you'll see the poster that me and him made on the floor in the Walgreens. But it was a really powerful movement. Of course, there were a lot of controversy that came with the amount of women who went and the type of women who went. And the different causes that may have been overshadowed. But overall, it was really powerful to be among a group of women who were all fighting and believing in the same thing. And of course, women's rights entails different issues, and I think there was certainly representation there from all sorts of issues, and it was really nice to see that diversity in group and in beliefs.
Yeah, and I feel like the Women's March, I regrettably wasn't able to be there, but I feel like that was such a wonderful start to the movement. Like, it was the day after the inauguration. It's like, that's amazing. It was I wasn't there in person, but it was just so powerful to see that kind of activism and just so many people coming together all over the world to advocate for women's rights was just a good place for all of us. Yeah. That we all felt that way on that day was really, really cool to see and to witness. And so, like I said, I wasn't at the Women's March, but just my feminist inspirations, I'd say, stemmed from, honestly, the Dominican tradition. Coming to Dominican University is something that I'm very happy I chose to do. I love this school so much. And one of the reasons I came here was because my mom encouraged me to come, because her aunt was a Cincinnati Dominican sister.
Oh, wow.
Back in 60s, 70s. I think she died in the early 90s, so I never met her. She died before I was born. But she was such a cool lady, from what my mom has told me. And I can tell that my mom really looked up to her and really just loved the woman that she was. And I think a lot of that was because she was a Cincinnati sister. And because the Cincinnati Dominicans, I think, are very feminist. It's not maybe in their official, thing, we are feminists, but, the things they do and what they preach it embodies feminism so much. Just the fact that they work so hard to educate women. Mm-hmm. The whole order was started on educating women and having women's colleges and teaching women skills and subjects that women weren't really learning in the early 1900s, late 1800s. Mm-hmm. And that in and of itself is just such a strong message and thing to fight for that has carried today. And look at where Dominican is now, such a strong university with such a diverse student population, and just the fact that those Dominicans, especially in my own personal family, my mom and my aunt really were kind of raised with that by their aunt, who was a Dominican sister. It was just really inspiring to me, and I hope to continue with that Dominican spirit as I go on with my life. So
So those are our stories for what has inspired us to begin this movement. And what we hope to get from this podcast is maybe to inspire you, or to maybe, comment below and share what has inspired you, or to what has inspired you to come and visit and just watch us talk about what inspires us. There's certainly a lot in the world out there that should be able to inspire you to join such a powerful movement. And we have been very inspired, and we'll continue to fight for what we believe in, and hope that you will join us.